Okay, so can I just say that seeing the Marvel Studios logo above a Deadpool movie title is kind of insane. Like, genuinely look how far we've gone. From this
Rhymes the disease. Meet the cure. Okay, not the cure, but more like a topical ointment that reduces swelling and itch. Hi, Tom.
to this.
I smell what you're stepping.
Also, Wade standing in the TVA while moments from Avengers and other MCU movies play on screens in front of him, and then Wade saluting to Captain America when he pops up is kind of hilarious. But this trailer legitimately was great, and I feel like it's pretty much exactly what Marvel needs right now. Deadpool 3, or I guess Deadpool and Wolverine is what the official title now is, but this film is the only MCU film releasing this year. It's also one of only 3 live action MCU projects we're getting this year, and Echo has already come out. We have a couple other animated projects coming as well this year, but they're all either prequels or multiverse style shows. So Deadpool and Wolverine is one of the only kind of major mainline projects. Like, I know it's multiverse adjacent, but it's still one of the mainline projects we're getting from the franchise this year. It's honestly the perfect one to go with because, come on, let's be honest, Marvel has been losing some of its views, some of its box office returns, and some of its popularity lately. It's kind of been on somewhat of a steady decline since Endgame and Far From Home in 2019, so Deadpool 3 really feels like it's a film that's bringing people back. Like, this is the first Marvel event film since No Way Home, where you have people who haven't really been on board the Marvel train these past few years and are like, oh, a new Deadpool movie? And it's in the main MCU? Hell yeah, I'm there. But I also have to give serious props to this trailer for just the pure restraint it has. Like, it's officially called the teaser for the film, but at almost 2 minutes, it's an extremely beefy teaser that still manages to give barely anything away. Like, we've known for years now that Wolverine is in this film, we've seen those first pictures of Hugh Jackman in the yellow suit, but this teaser plays it off as, we're not showing you more than you need to see, which is something I feel like most movies don't do with their trailer these days. We'll for sure see more of Hugh and of Wolverine in the next trailer, but I hope that when that one comes out, they still have a sense of keeping most of their cards off the table and just showing what you need to get hype for the film, rather than really spoiling a lot of the big stuff. The TVA and Matthew Macfadyen were probably the biggest surprises of the teaser for a lot of people, but these were actually 2 things I got spoiled for a year ago from leaks, so I'm really happy that like 20 seconds into the teaser they're already there and we're already seeing them, because it makes it feel like that spoiler isn't as huge as it felt when I saw it. And this is the first time we're seeing the TVA outside of Loki, so this is kind of a big deal. It feels like Loki as a show, which season 2 was amazing, watch it if you can, is about to start playing into the current MCU in a big way, and that characters like Loki and Deadpool meeting are really close to happening now, which I can't wait for that to happen. Maybe it even happens in this film, who knows. But Matthew Macfadyen is playing a character called Paradox, and the actor was fantastic in Succession, but Paradox is a Marvel Comics character, and it's kind of blurry on what they'll be doing with him here. Honestly, considering how Loki Season 2 ended, it's totally possible that Paradox is essentially taking over from Mobius in the TVA as the new role of kind of bringing people in. So Paradox could be to Wade what Mobius was to Loki in Season 1. Also, side note, but this teaser was kind of masterfully crafted in that it feels extremely similar to the Loki teasers and trailers in terms of how the TVA is first kind of presented and revealed to the audience. Even some of the sound effects are extremely similar. But this teaser was also full of cool little Easter eggs and references as well. Like, none of them felt like major spoilers, just cool hints and teases for things we'll be getting in the film. Like, the entire cast of Deadpool 1 and 2 seemed to be back for a brief moment at the beginning of the film, which is awesome, and I personally had no idea about it. Maybe it was kind of well known from leaks and rumors that they were coming back mostly, but I actually had no idea about that. Like, Vanessa, Colossus, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, Dopinder, Blind Al, Yukio, and even Rob Delaney as Peter all being back. I genuinely was kind of curious how much of, if any, of the old Deadpool films would tie into this, and if we'd maybe just start with Wade being thrown into a multiverse problem to deal with, rather than dealing with wrapping up any Deadpool films. But it seems like we're going to get returns of a lot of these characters, which is really cool. We also get Pyro from the original X-Men trilogy, played by the same actor almost 20 years later, over 20 years later. Like, Pyro was supposed to be a main part of X-Men 1, but was mostly cut due to budget constraint, although he did get to appear very briefly in the film. But then he had a much bigger role in X2 and X-Men The Last Stand, and now he's back in Deadpool and Wolverine, which kind of makes you wonder, what other Fox X-Men characters are we going to see in this film? Like, Pyro, I feel, is a good one to show in a teaser because it gets die-hard fans hyped while just making other fans a little more intrigued. Like, you're not really spoiling a whole lot, so I wonder. The fight scene in the forest here definitely gives off the Age of Ultron opening fight vibes when the Avengers are fighting their way to Baron von Strucker's final Hydra stronghold, and I think the one reason why I get this feeling from this fight is because one of the TV screens earlier on in the teaser did show this fight, so it was already kind of in my mind. But it would be really cool if Wade is maybe revisiting moments from other MCU movies, which I guess could make sense given the context of the film, or maybe we're seeing iconic MCU moments from the point of view of certain Fox characters, which would be cool as well. Like maybe they're playing out the moments differently with Fox characters in the roles of Avengers characters instead. I'm not going to get excited for this because that's kind of like a headcanon theory thing, and I don't want to get hyped about something that probably won't happen. But speaking of Fox, this is weirdly cool. Right behind Wade here, we see a destroyed version of the 20th Century Fox logo. Maybe this is going to play a role in some meta commentary on the Fox version of the X-Men being taken away in this film, or maybe some commentary on how Fox as a whole just exists under Disney now. I spent forever trying to figure out what this logo actually was supposed to be before I finally realized, oh, that's Fox. Like, I don't know, I'd spent so long being like, what comic book thing could this be? And I was like, no, it's not even a comic book thing, it's just Fox, which is honestly even cooler. We also see a very brief glimpse of Logan in a white tuxedo here, which is one of Wolverine's iconic comic book looks. So between that and the yellow suit, it really does feel like Deadpool 3 is going out of its way to really make up for the fact the Fox films barely ever liked to make comic book costumes be on the screen. It's also kind of funny that we only get to see Hugh twice in the trailer, and both times are of just the back of him. But he goes by the name Patch when he's in this role, and generally in the comics, this was mostly when he was doing shady things in the location of Madripoor. We already got to see Madripoor make its MCU debut in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, so it would be pretty cool tie-in connection if the version of whatever location Logan is in here is very similar to Madripoor from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. In the final shot of the trailer, we have Wade lying beside a Secret Wars comic, so that's cool. Avengers Secret Wars is only a couple years away, so I feel like this is a sweet tease that Deadpool 3 is pretty important for where we're heading in the MCU. A lot of people felt the current MCU is a little directionless. I feel like Loki and now Deadpool are really kind of showing the direction we're on and showing what is important for the future of the MCU. And the Secret Wars comic we're looking at here is issue 5, which is one that features Doctor Doom pretty heavily. We already had tons of rumors that Kang might not be the major villain anymore after a lot of the controversy, and Marvel might pivot to Doctor Doom. Maybe this is the first hint of that, who knows. Doctor Doom in general, though, is a character that is very involved in Secret Wars, so, well, the second Secret Wars, so it would feel like maybe they're going that direction. Maybe they're kind of going to have both Doctor Doom and Kang. We'll see. Final Easter egg I want to mention, and this is just because I'm not sure if this is legit or not, so that's why it's last. But considering this is the TVA, and we see a purple glowy thing grab somebody, this could totally be Goliath, the giant purple dragon from the void that protected He Who Remains and the Citadel at the end of time, which maybe not, maybe, who knows, we'll see. That's cool. But anyway, Deadpool and Wolverine looks awesome. It's just what Marvel needs right now. It feels like the first comic book event film we've had in years, and I personally can't wait. But how are you feeling about the next MCU film? Are you excited? Are you still over Marvel? Has this reinvigorated your interest in the franchise? But if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, and all of that. And I hope you have a great day.